where I want to be. All right. Ralph, you know this. Everybody else listening, though, I just want to remind you, every Thursday, I am here at kalehuddle.com/Zoom to do our level up workshop. So these are for anybody who wants to improve their business. If there's anybody out there saying they don't want to improve their business, I don't know what you're doing out there, but I want to see you really maximize your opportunities out there in the fields. So, all throughout the month of November, I have been talking about the lead funnel. We talked about in October how to bring leads into our funnel. During the month of November, though, we focus specifically on that area of nurturing where people are starting to make that consideration in our funnel. Um, so, next month, I want you to know we are going to get through our funnel and we are actually going to close the deal and get our listings, and we're going to elevate our listings. So, today we're going to continue, and today's topic is about reactivating those cold leads. Maybe they came in your funnel, maybe they didn't take action for one reason or another, and they've been just sitting. I know Ralph and I were talking earlier about how neither of us did a really good job of staying in touch with our previous clients. Well, those are all what I call cold leads. They liked working with us. They thought they were raving fans, and we had a great experience with them, but we never did anything with that relationship. So today is about reactivating those relationships. And then normally I do the mastermind the last Thursday of the month, but because next Thursday is Thanksgiving, we are doing it tomorrow. The mastermind is that chance for us to come together as a team and really share ideas. So please come with your brain ready, ready to talk, ready to share, and let's kick it off. All right. Hey, Ralph, since you're the only one in the room right now, if you have any questions at any point, make sure you just shout it out, okay? That's who I am, all right?
I do have one question just to
Sure.
piggyback off of our orientation. I want to be clear when I'm going through, say, past client databases. When I did a Zoom call the other day, we talked about setting up like a CRM type of setup, right? So if I set that up, there's a 3 month window, from my understanding, for what a cold lead may have been. But then I do believe Richard made suggestion that I can do maybe like a warm connection through email. Is that
So,
correct?
yep, so what you're referring to is the do not call list, and I'm glad you started this workshop talking about that. So in the do not call list, that means that people have put their name on the registry saying they don't want anybody to call them and sell them. Now, there is the small caveat. There's 3 months that you refer to when they've gone ahead and maybe gone to an open house and signed in and given you their contact information. They're saying for 3 months, even if I'm on that list, you can call me. Okay. But there's that client relationship where it's 18 months. So 18 months after the time that you've closed with somebody, you can call them to sell to them. Now, I don't think that real estate is a whole lot of selling. I think it's more about relationship building. And if you are making a phone call for the purpose of building relationship, and this time of year it's all about saying, hey, happy holidays. What are you doing for the holidays? That's not a violation of the do not call list. Okay. So this refers mostly to if you are cold calling or really being that harsh salesperson that I would never recommend you do of trying to sell yourself. So relationship first is my method. Okay.
Okay.
And to piggyback on what Rick said, listen, if you really do want to call and say, hey, do you have any opportunities this year? Warm it up with an email, warm it up with a text message, warm it up with other methods of communication before picking up the phone because they have to give you permission to call if that's your method.
Now, if I'm using the method of email, and let's say I'm using my Gmail account, correct, to make the email, and the guidelines that, that I believe we have to have an address and we also have to have an opt out. So I did some
So that is
research.
if you are sending business emails. If you're sending emails about relationships, you do not have to. Okay, is that clear?
That is extremely important because I was thinking, if I'm reaching out, do I have to sound businessy like, or am I able to just say, hey, how are you? Just checking in and see how things are going.
And I'm going to give you right now the two email play. I'm going to give you two messages, and neither of them are about selling yourself or something that would infringe on the Can Spam Act that you're referring to. So, can spam and do not call. The difference is one is asking for business, the other is all about the relationship. Okay? So today, let's just think about all those leads that are in your database, all those people in your sphere of influence that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. I've done it myself. So let's re-engage with these people. And I'm going to give you those two emails. If you email me, and I'll send you these slides, just email with the subject line of leads. Okay? All right, so let's just first talk about a few things that we're going to go over in this 20-minute quick workshop. The first one is about CRM segmentation. So, segmentation means you're breaking apart your groups of people that are in your CRM. Maybe it's based on some filters that'll tell you maybe that they are previous clients. Maybe you knew them through your kids. Maybe you knew them through community events. Filter them on how you know them. Filter them on how warm, cold, or hot they are. Filter them based on whatever it might be. Maybe it's even last activity. And the CRM we give you allows you to create these tags to filter. I'll talk about that in just a moment. I also want you to go with the human first emails. Now, I do like ChatGPT because it makes me sound so much better. But really and truly, we're talking about plain text emails to people. It's not a business email, it's supposed to be a relationship email. Okay? That's what's going to get opened first. And the third one is the reply framework. You know, if somebody replies to you, they don't want you waiting 24 hours or a week or 2 months to respond. So make sure you're ready to respond and update your CRM with your response so that you know that you've been in touch with this person and create a repetition so that you stay in touch. Okay. So I'm not talking about theory. I'm talking about things that are tested, things that I've done in my business that have gotten me to wake up some people in my CRM. Okay. Now, as I said, we offer you the Real Geek CRM. It's free. We pay for it for you. If you don't know how to use the Real Geek CRM, go get the training. It's on Kale Huddle in Video Library and search Real Geek or Geeks. I think I have 3 videos there where I take you from start to finish on how to use the tool. Pause it, rewind, fast forward. It is a great tool, and it should be the tool that you have open on your computer all day and on your phone, and you're recording every single communication you're doing. Okay? All right. Now, here's the first thing. We're going to talk about segmenting your leads and how to filter them in the CRM. 2, we're going to talk about those 2 email templates. 3, your talk path and the objectives of really what do you want to get out of your email. Some people call it that call to action. And 4th, I will open this up to Q&A. So here we go. Let's jump into the meat of this program. So in Real Geeks, it's called tags, or you can create filters, but I prefer tags. So segment your CRM. So if you're uploading it today, as you're entering people in, think about what groupings you can make. Now, I used to have a grouping that said city or suburban so that I knew how to send them some marketing materials that was relevant to them. I even went as far as Mundelein, Northbrook, Long Grove, so that I had different communities because maybe I was sending different information. Some of them were parents with kids that were friends of my kids, or some were adults I've met through Chamber of Commerce's because the conversation or the marketing materials would be very different, as well as my dialogue when I spoke to them. So,
May I,
yeah, go ahead,
may,
Ralph.
may I ask, with regards to the tag, are you able to do like a high level tag and then sub tags for like what you just said to kind of
Absolutely.
bring it down so that you can make the emails per if it's for a South Suburban or if it's for a specific city?
You got it. And I'm
Okay,
thinking about your business. You might even want to tag people for veterans, right? So that we can tag them and share some VA benefits and some VA
correct.
loan information. So absolutely, you have categories and subcategories that you can create in Real Geeks. Make it work for you.
I
Okay?
like that.
Absolutely. And I want you to, go through and filter out people as you're entering them into the CRM, or if they're already in the CRM, filter them now. And maybe what we want to do is name some people reactivation. Maybe it's reactivating first-time home buyers November 2025, right? So we know that we have reconnected with these people because you wouldn't want to do that same email of, hey, haven't talked in a while in a month from now. So segment them, tag them, and make sure those names are then noted in your CRM. I often say
I'm
if something's not documented in the CRM, it didn't happen. Ralph?
correct. I'm going to use the old cheer method, red, white, blue, hot, medium, cold. And when I do it, I'm going to now go back through to see the ones that are more acclimated from my experience, if I can remember, because there's so many. And I'll do that batch first so that I'm not overwhelming myself so I can have a steady flow. And then I'll make it as part of my daily repetition that if I do 10, 20 today, then tomorrow I'll add five and so more, so forth, because I have so many of them and I want to make sure I comb through them good.
And Ralph, I'm gonna just identify for everybody else that's listening that what Ralph just said is he's going to develop KPIs. Really, right? You're going to develop your indicators so that you know every day what you need to do in order to reach your goals.
Correct.
I love it.
KPIs like
I
that.
love that. I love that. Okay. So, and I also might suggest as you're doing that exercise, Ralph, make sure you're picking up the phone and saying happy holidays. What are you doing for Thanksgiving kind of calls.
Got it.
Yeah. Let's utilize our going through our CRM right now. Okay. So here's one email, simple one. It might be, hey, still want that townhouse in Palatine. Still want to have a home of your own. Still want home ownership. Whatever still want might be. And so now you're reminding somebody that you know what they were looking for. So you've done a really good consultation. You understand their needs. And then just make it really simple. No clever word plays. Don't use any emojis. Then they'll know you use ChatGPT. Okay? But make that body really simple. Like, hey, Ralph, are you still looking for a townhouse in Palatine this winter? Or, hey, friend, are you still looking to move out of a rental and into your own home in the 2026 year? If so, send
Call
me
to
three
action.
options that match your must-haves,
Right.
right?
Right. Right. That's the 30, 60, 90-day projection to say, if now, how about it? If later, how about this quarter we get started? That way I can gauge, like you stated, with the KPIs on what the business flow would look like once I get my CRM completely set up and I can see who's actually in flow.
I love it. Absolutely. And what really helps me is when I use a really specific subject line and I put that email also into my CRM, kind of reminds me because I see it kind of as a flag like, oh, that was the client with the townhouse in Palatine. Oh, that's the one that was a renter that wants to be a first-time home buyer. So it does help me as well. This is a
Where are
really,
you placing the subject line of that email?
I'm
When,
pasting the whole email into my CRM.
oh, okay, the full
I
email.
am
Okay.
pasting the whole CRM, but that subject line is going to be in there because that's the first thing I'm going to see.
Okay.
Okay. This is super powerful. Just be really direct, really specific, and give them something easy to answer. So always have a call to action. So my call to action here is if yes, want me to send you three options that might match your must-haves? Always give them a reason to write back to you.
Got
If
it.
you just send it sincerely, Risa, well, I may or may not get a response.
No
Okay?
call to action.
No
Got
call
it.
to action, you get no action.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so let's do a second email. And this one is, did life change? Now, it's kind of interesting because I hope everybody's life changes as we go through life and maybe we learn things. So your subject line is quick update, question mark. And the body is, hey, did anything change with your move, your timeline, your financing since we last chatted? If helpful, I can map out your two next steps in 10 minutes.
I love that because it's like you stated, it's a relationship based, just checking in, not are you ready to buy? Can I sell you? Can I, can you're not asking for anything, you're offering.
And what I'm always looking for when I'm working with a client is to find out what their trigger point is. What do they need to have happen in their life so they can sell, so they can buy, so they can go rent? Sometimes it's a date, sometimes it's a thing. So we want to kind of help them soul search a little and think about, did something change for them so that now is the right timing for them?
Sport, family, occupation, recreation, dream.
I always love having Ford conversations. I love that opportunity. Absolutely.
This
Okay.
is good stuff. I'm very happy. Sorry
Good.
no one else was able to join, but I'm going to take advantage of you. I just want to plug in and just woo, pass it on.
Well, and that's the purpose of
You are
these
a well
Thursday.
of knowledge for sure.
Well, and I hope you just take these templates and just go do it, right? Like get it out there, go connect with those people. Now, here's a reality. There are some people who are going to go what we call crickets, and you're not going to hear from them. So if after 48, 72 hours you send email one, you don't get a reply, then maybe don't wait any longer because you're still on their radar. They saw your name in their emails. Don't send something the next day, but maybe send this one, a few days later, right? I think people ghost us because they feel that they're not ready. And if we keep showing them that we care, that we add value to their life, and that we have a shared desired goal, they want to work with us. So keep staying present with them while they're thinking about you.
Top of mind. Because,
Yeah,
like you said, you never know. It could be an emergency. I got to move like yesterday, and so things didn't work out in the relationship. Whatever that is, you're top of mind, and they can say, I saw that email, and then ooh, there it is, and you just never know.
yeah.
That's the whole beauty
Unfortunately,
of the game.
yeah, too many people know too many real estate agents, so whoever's in front of them at that moment is the one that gets the business.
That's
Now,
very true.
I want to go back to something you said earlier, Ralph. Um, and you talked about different modalities of communication. And I really want to tell you that I am that kind of person that deletes every email that is not extremely important to me. So people might do the same with your email. So if you don't get a response after the second email, reach out through social media, reach out through text, give them a call. Remember, they had a relationship with you at one point. They probably still have a relationship. We just need to rebuild it. And now's a great time just to say Happy Thanksgiving.
And the beauty of what you just stated is not everyone looks at their email. We look at ours because of the nature of the business. Some people may have it as, just an accessory, but a text message just to say, hey, how are you? I just want to make sure that my email came through. If the email address has changed, would you be so kind to update it for me? And they may text it back and say, oh, I didn't check that. And then they go to it and see that you've been sending them emails.
That's a super great point. Thank you for bringing that one up. Thank you so much. All right, let's just go through some common objections and how to handle them. So again, we started off, we went through an update email. Hey, what's changed since we last spoke? Then we qualified. We tried to look for their timeline, their budget, their financing, their must-haves. We invited them to have a 10-minute conversation. We offered them an invite to send them something that matched their needs. But they may respond with something like, hey, I'm just browsing, or not ready yet, or that no response at all. So I've got some responses for you. So if somebody says, I'm just browsing, what about saying, hey, great, want a 67 price pulse every 2 weeks? I can send you what's moving in your range so you stay ahead of the market. Or they say not ready yet, the response might be no problem. Then when should I check back with you? 2 weeks or 4 weeks? Give a short window of time so that they really can think about that. They have control then of when you're going to be calling them back so you're not bothering them. And again, if there's no response at all, I would send email two after 48 or 72 hours, still nothing. Put them on the long-term nurture, but use those other methods of communication, like reach out through social media.
On
Searches.
that,
I
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to remind everybody that LinkedIn is still social media. And for some people, that is softer than finding them on Instagram or Facebook.
I was going to say on that, just browsing, just a thought. In like Canva, they have like real estate brochures to show the steps of home buying if it's a buyer per se. And if they're saying they're just browsing, it sounds like a buyer. I would attach maybe the steps to home ownership just so that it pings that if they engage, they know where it came from. They may refer back to it. They may download it. So while I'm in Canva, I'll go ahead and put my Kale logo in on it, sort of like having a refrigerator magnet. That if they were to download it to their desktop and then go back to it for the steps, they'll see who's sending it. And if I keep doing like you said, then it's a not ready and don't get a response at all, maybe switch to, like you say, alternative to the text messaging. Just want to add value to what you stated.
And so, Ralph, you're leading with that value piece, right? You're giving them something about where they're at in this process. Maybe they don't even know what the next step is, and you're helping them learn that step. We do have all those templates available on Kale Huddle if you go down to where it says social media, and they're already branded for you. So we've already got that great content. I might even at the just browsing offer them my Real Geeks app. Our app is called Move To. And so when you share it to your consumer, then they will actually only see you and your contact information. They can mark favorite. They can start putting comments in there. They can even say to you, I'd like to see a showing for this. And so now they're not going to Zillow or Redfin and seeing all those other faces. They're staying within your ecosystem. And you can let them browse to their heart's content.
Do
But now
we
you,
also have the link to put into our email salutation so that as you send an email, it's kind of a subliminal marketing piece?
so I
Click
do
here if you
recommend.
like to see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I do recommend that once you get your website and you set it up, that you put that in your signature line that says search the entire MLS here. That creates the web browser. I give the app only when I'm in this relationship.
Got it. Okay.
hmm Just because the app takes a little bit more technology fumbling, I think,
Understood.
whereas the direct link for the computer is just simple.
And with regards to our own website, can we do squeeze pages or landing pages if we have domain names? Because I have a few domain names that I can do for specific things. That if I sent an email, maybe I can run a campaign on the splash page just to make them click on that to go to the page, and then maybe have something there to engage them with.
So what we give you is one single page which has your name, your bio, and an IDX, and it can have listings from the company or from you, whichever you prefer. You can build as many other pages as you want, and we do have a web designer. His name is Rodney, and he will build it out in compliance with IDFPR requirements, and help you link it to your page if you would like.
What you just stated about the IDFPR requirements, anything that I build, I'll send it over as if I did a listing just to make sure we're in compliance because I don't want to put something out there that, might turn around and bite us. It's always better. Teamwork makes the dream work.
You got it. And there are a lot of requirements on us. There's a lot of policies out there. There's a lot of rules out there.
I
So,
respect it.
yeah, so I appreciate that Rodney went ahead and learned the rules, and he only builds websites that are in compliance. So his information is on Kale Huddle under our dream team.
Got it.
All right. All right. So again, I'm going to send this to you. Just email me, and I will send over these templates. But template one, hey, still want whatever? Are you still looking for whatever in whatever area at this timeline? If yes, want me to send you something? Call to
May
action.
I may I ask the question would it be appropriate if I'm doing like a dream team shout out to patrons to say, if ever there's a case, and then just kind of list, as long as I'm doing more than three or more, like attorneys, what we have in our dream team? I thought it was like 12 pages,
So
four
I
or
wanted
five
to tell
listings
you,
per.
Well, first of all, that list that you saw was our vendor list. And so those are people that have been recommended by somebody in the company. Our
Okay.
dream teams are the ones that the leadership team has vetted and really and truly are the best. But there's a misnomer in our industry, and I want to make it clear. You don't have to offer three.
Whoa, beautiful. Okay.
You
I
don't have to offer
again,
three.
I'm just coming back in, and they used to
Nope.
say you have to give them X amount. So I
Yeah,
always had enough, but it's a lot easier knowing like I would like to work with A and N. We had the conversation on the orientation, so I'll be reaching out. And I didn't know if I would be able to lead with that to say, you know what? I'd like to call my loan officer because that's not my area of expertise and let
absolutely.
him explain. And that kind of makes it the warm connection that they can start pulling. And when I say, hey, I'm gonna jump off the call so you guys can go ahead and finish up, and then when you're done, just call me back. That way, I'm not in on any confidential information that's being shared.
And that is a beautiful script right there. I'm so glad you said that. But it is okay to say to somebody, I have a preferred lender I'd like to put you in contact with.
Got it.
There's lots of lenders out there, but this is the one I trust, right? I have a
Exactly.
preferred attorney. This is the one I trust and I like to work with.
Oh, that is wonderful. I was not sure if I could still do that. And I looked at what we have, and like with our attorney that did the 8.0 presentation, sound like an excellent attorney. So I'd like to be able to say I have a preferred attorney. She's very thorough, and I understood her, like she broke it down in layman's terms.
That's why I've worked with her for 20 years.
Okay, wonderful. All right,
Yes.
we're on the same page.
Yeah, we're on the same page. But if you go back to your first question, can you have an email that says, hey, would you like me to send you three vendors? Maybe it's a mortgage broker, an attorney, or a contractor, whatever it might be.
Perfect.
Absolutely. That makes you the source of everything real estate, right? But
And I like that because, like, if I'm doing a 203K, if I'm sending them a contractor, after I speak with the contractor, make sure they can handle 203K loans. You know, they have the two types of 203Ks and want to make sure before I just say, hey, there's a contract. And they say, oh, we just paint and put a couple nails in the wall. We don't do full blown contracting. So I will reach out to the vendors first.
perfect, perfect. Okay. So what I've tried to give you today in this quick 20 minutes, not just templates, but really a reactivation plan. A reactivation plan to get in touch with those people who really do like you. They want to work with you. They've raised their hand in the past. So let's just help them reach their goals by giving them this action nudge. Let's just call it a nudge. Okay?
I like it.
All right, now let's just talk real quickly about those KPIs. So, KPIs, key performance indicators. So, really, you're not going to be a successful agent if you don't have some kind of KPIs in your life. Let me just get rid of that call. It's coming through here. So, I want you to track your calls. I want you to track your reply rate. I would love for 10% of your cold leads to respond to either email one or two. That's a national standard. 10%. So track it. If you don't track it, you don't know how to improve your practice. And I'd love to see your appointment conversion be at 15%. So of those replies that you get, let's see if we can turn those into a meeting or a call. Because remember, the more meetings we have, the better chances we have of getting buyers and sellers. So I'm going to repeat that again. 10% of the people that you're sending emails to are going to respond to you. So if you send out 100 emails, the goal is for 10 people to respond. And of those 10 people who respond to you, 15% of those, so one and a half people, you're going to get an appointment. And if you can get one or two appointments each week, I'm going to tell you, you can do 25 deals a year. I'm going to tell you that's going to happen, at least. So let's focus on these two conversions this week, track it, and reach out to me. If your numbers are falling short of these KPIs, let's talk about your dialogue or your scripts or your templates to make sure they're right on target. Any
Okay.
questions about these KPIs?
Uh, I wrote down what you said, track calls, appointments, and the reply rate. So I relabeled it as reach out, engagement, and response. So, you know, if I reach out to them and call, text, however it is that they may have in the past wanted to be responsive, then if they respond back, right, the reply back, and if I can engage with them to get them to appointment, we're able to track because we can know on this day, this time, we did this much and we moved the ball this far and we're on first base or we hit a home run first rip. So I understand the law of averages.
And I love going to that baseball because we got to get around the base with all these people. Typically we don't get a home run. It very rarely happens in this business. And in fact, if I got a home run, I'd wonder what's wrong with it.
Here comes the pitch.
I'd wonder what's wrong. So remember to use your tools. Use your email. And for those of you out there that have not yet created an email separate for your real estate business and created a signature line, as Ralph mentioned, with your web page on it, get that set up right away. Get to know your CRM and use that filter tool this week. And maybe you want to go ahead and use a calendar or booking link. I know Ralph wanted to meet with me and he used my you can book it link. It was so easy. So maybe use Calendly or the Google Calendar tool. Hold on, T. I can't get so excited when I have a cold. It just doesn't work.
This
But
is
get
a
a
lot.
tool so it's easy to put the words out to somebody. I'd like to schedule an appointment with you. All right, here's our last sprint here. 24-hour sprint. We're going to send one email today. We're going to block out 15 minutes for replies. We're going to then queue up email number 2. So if you don't hear from somebody within 48 or 72 hours, you decide, queue up email number 2. Track those results and put it into your CRM that you sent these messages. Okay? People are going to respond to you if you've got the right text and you take the right action. And as Ralph said, you're going to stay top of mind. So maybe the holidays are making them think they need a bigger place to celebrate with their family. Guess who they're going to call? So take this opportunity now to re-engage. So this is a system, and I think top producers only become top producers because they have systems. Keep building little systems along the way. You don't need expensive software. You don't need an assistant. You just need a CRM. That's really it. So
We
let's get
needed a back
started.
to the basics moment with you because you are making it very simple to adopt and adapt to. You're very engaging and you're very thorough and very clear to understand. So FYI, I do thank you, not to cut you off.
Thank you so much, Ralph. All right. Just so everybody knows, I'm going to be sharing this recording. If you're still watching this recording prior to November 21st, tomorrow is our mastermind. And I hope that you'll all join us because we really want to have an action plan of how we're going to fix this funnel and get more opportunities. So thank you so much, Ralph, for being here and engaging and co-thinking with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Rita. It's my pleasure. You have a blessed day.
You too. We'll talk
Okay.
soon.
Okay.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Make it a great day. Bye bye.